Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. And after Newcastle at the weekend, I wasn't expecting to be back doing another Chelsea video so soon, but that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, has stolen the headlines again. I was getting ready to go to bed last night and then bang, the explosive quotes dropped from that interview with Piers Morgan and about him feeling, betrayed by the club, how he doesn't feel respected by the manager. And then lo and behold, the links to Chelsea come back and he's now the favourite to join Chelsea in the January window, although take those reports with a slight pinch of salt because a lot of the papers are using betting sites as their source because they're making the favourites to join us in January. And in today's video, I'm just going to be discussing exactly why Chelsea should not be going back in for Cristiano Ronaldo. We know that Todd Boehly was keen to bring Ronaldo in the summer. And I've got to be honest, I wasn't totally against the idea in the summer. I think for a season, it wouldn't have been too bad given the issues we had going forward and still do have going forwards. But, right now we're in the midst of, a big rebuild. We need to look to the future, and signing Cristiano Ronaldo is anything but planning for the future. It's short-termism at its finest. It's exactly the sort of signing that we need to try and move away from, exactly the sort of poor recruitment that set us back so many years and we're trying to unpick the mess of now. And this would be another one of those poor moves. For me, I'm a massive Cristiano Ronaldo fan. I love him. I think he's the greatest to ever play the game. But ultimately, at this stage in his career, he just isn't that guy anymore. And I know he's got the ego and rightly so through what he's achieved, but he still thinks he's that guy. And you've got to have that self-belief as a sportsman. But ultimately, he's not that guy anymore, He's not that sort of guy that's going to make a difference for your team on the pitch. Yes, if you create him the opportunities, he will probably stick the ball in the net because he's still got that ability. But, he's not playing that well at the moment. And Tuchel obviously vetoed the signing several times when Boehly approached him. We know why Boehly wants him because of the money that he can make off the pitch through sponsors, through commercial stuff for the club. And I get why that would be appealing. But from a broadly footballing perspective, it doesn't make any sense for Chelsea whatsoever to sign Ronaldo. You're bringing a massive ego into the dressing room who is going to cause uproar if he's not starting every week. And at this stage of his career, he doesn't deserve to be starting every week for a top team. It's just the reality of the situation he's in now. All the greats have it when they come towards the end of their careers. They're not going to be starters and play as much football as they have done throughout their careers because they simply aren't at that level anymore, as hard as it is for Ronaldo to admit that. And I don't think he can admit that. I think he still thinks that he can bang in 20 to 30 goals a season in any team. But that just isn't the case anymore. And for Chelsea, we've got our eyes on other targets. We're trying to rebuild for the future, as I said. We're looking to bring in Kunku in. Chelsea are looking at Rafa Leao. Chelsea are also looking at Ivan Toney, potentially looking at Victor Osimhen at Napoli. These are all targets for the long term and for the future of the club. And to bring Cristiano Ronaldo into that mix would just go against everything we're trying to be doing. It would go against the project that Todd Boehly's gone on about so much. It's against that. What he brought Graham Potter in for is to build for the future, get a group of players that are young, hungry, that want to be here. Ronaldo would literally be here for 6 months, and who knows what damage could be caused in those 6 months. It has to be avoided at all costs. I'm fully aware that George Mendes will probably reapproach Chelsea and Boehly again with an option of trying to shift Ronaldo onto us in January. Potter's not going to have as much kind of power over this as perhaps Tuchel did in the past. There is now a recruitment structure in place, a recruitment department in place, and ultimately, they will converse with the manager and converse with the board, but this decision will kind of solely come down to that group. But I think we're fully clear though that any signing on Ronaldo, I don't think Potter would give that the go-ahead, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's not right for the project. And, if it were to happen, it would be solely down to Boehly, and that would be him, interfering in kind of transfers in which we don't want that anymore. The best thing that Todd Boehly could do is step down as interim sporting director, allow the newly formed recruitment team alongside the manager to make the decisions about the players that the club need to bring in going forwards. Because as much as we love Cristiano Ronaldo, as much as it would be amazing to see the GOAT in a Chelsea shirt, with that famous number 7 on his back, the reality of the situation is that, it attract more tourists into Stamford Bridge. You've already got a shocking atmosphere at the bridge. We don't need more kind of fair-weathered fans, attending home match days. We need to try to move away from that, improve the atmosphere. And we need to build for the future in terms of the team. And and the project that's at hand for Graham Potter. And this is perhaps a 3, 4, 5 year project. Potter was brought in on a 5-year contract. I'm not saying he's going to see it out, but the vision is for him to be here for those 5 years and to build something successful at Chelsea. And unfortunately, Cristiano Ronaldo just isn't part of those plans. And to be honest, anyone that does want Ronaldo as a Chelsea fan is either kind of being blindsided by what he has done in his career and what he used to be, and is not thinking with their head, but it's going with their heart on this one, because it would be like it'd be a great thing to see. And I agree, it would be lovely to see him in a Chelsea shirt, but it doesn't go any further than that. Any signing of him would be purely for non-footballing reasons. It would cause more disruption than it would cause good. We're trying to move away from that. We're trying to move into a new era. This is the sort of signing that Roman Abramovich would be all over 100%. And it's the kind of thing that we need to move away from as Chelsea now. We need to move on to making smart business, spending like money wisely, spending it on players that want to be at this football club, players that are going to be here for sort of 2, 3, 4, 5 years and be the foundations of building hopefully the next Premier League winning side that Chelsea produce. And Cristiano Ronaldo unfortunately doesn't tick any of those boxes whatsoever. And Graham Potter, I think, in this situation is going to have to be strong. He's going to have to put his foot down and not allow Bowley to sort of overrule him in this instance. I mean, from what Bowley said, that Potter is going to have a big say in the transfers, as will the recruitment team. And let's just hope that these guys, have got their brains engaged and can see that this isn't part of the bigger picture. This doesn't help Chelsea in any way, bringing Cristiano Ronaldo in on a 6-month deal in January. It just goes against everything the club's trying to do. And, it's the same people that were lambasting Lukaku for that interview, wanting him out of the football club, who then somehow want Ronaldo in. And this interview is way worse than the Lukaku one. So, yeah, I don't quite understand that one from my point of view, but I think just to end on this note, that any Chelsea fans that do want Cristiano Ronaldo to sign for the club in January, I'm afraid are anti-growth, anti the project of this club, because he doesn't tick any of those boxes. But yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts on the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the likes on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all again soon, guys. Up the Chelsea.